Okay, we are almost ready to start Part 3, which is transportation. But before that, I need to take one step back into housing first. And one thing to make sure that I discuss is, so we've built our budget in Excel, but we do have an other category for other expenditures. So remember, housing should be 30% of our budget. But I didn't include everything that I could have included because I didn't have enough money, but I need to consider these things like recycling. If I go into my presentation, my average expenditures, recycling is only $11 a month. That's probably something I should include. Here's some more about cable and satellite dish if I want that, and internet at my home. Right now I just have it on my phone. But if I scroll way to the last page, and we'll be using that periodically, these are average expenditures for different items. So let me scroll up a little bit. For housing, laundry, lawn, garden, there's a low, medium, and average, or low, average, and high costs, furniture costs, appliance costs. So I haven't included any of those in there, so I should definitely include those in there. So I'm going to do the low end for all of them, but I will include them. So I'm at $46 if I add those together. So I'll go in my Excel spreadsheet, and my other, I will include $46, which again puts me over my 30%. So I'm going to have to make up for that somewhere else, or I'm going to have to adjust it later. So next is transportation, which we all love. We can choose what kind of vehicle we want to have. So transportation will be about 20% of our net income. So again, I can find out about how much that would be. We can either buy new or used. New has a warranty, a wider selection. Used costs less. And in my budget, I'm thinking used is probably going to be a better option for me. It might say in here what you have. Mine does not say what kind of car I have to have, so that means I have some choice. Or maybe I don't even have a car if I can use the bus system, depending on where I live. So assuming that the payment, license, registration have been paid, all items in red must be included. And if we choose a different option, it has to be appropriate. You may not choose a bus system or subway if you don't live in a metro area or an area that supports that. So you have to make sure it works for you. So I need to select my transportation, identify which one, and record all of my expenses now. So now I'm going to go back into my notebook, and I'm going to scroll under housing to transportation to see what would be my best choice. So here are new vehicles, and I know that that's probably not in my budget. Remember, the red costs are the ones that have to be included, and 20% of my budget is going to be, well, if 700 was 30%, I'm guessing, maybe 450 range, somewhere around there. So that's the range I'm going to look for when I add up all of those totals together. So I can see those are going to be well over that budget. I am a 26-year-old male, so I want to do what would fit best. I'm not going to get a minivan if I don't have any children. Again, these all look more expensive, so I'm going to go with used. I probably don't have to go quite that low, but I'm going to go, maybe a truck would be good for me. I think that will be over $450 as well when I add that up. So I'm going to look on my next page, see if I can find any that would fit me better. This one looks like that might work, a Saturn Ion. So I'm going to put 111, 9835. My fuel costs, 155.4. and repairs 117.6. So that puts me right at 20%, which is great. One thing that I will have to note is that that is just one vehicle, and there are two of us, a wife and a husband, and so with one vehicle between us, we'll have to figure out how to make that work. And I could always edit that as well. That's just one. So please spend some time looking for your transportation. And then when you're finished with that, go to the neighborhood reflection, which is back in your packet. And you're going to reflect on the house you chose and the transportation you chose and how that fits into your budget before moving on.